Good afternoon, Fig and Fruit Nursery and Orchard. It's another episode of Fig Variety Review and Talk, and we're going to start this one out a little different. I've had some questions about what varieties at this point that I would, if I was building a new 30 by 100 foot greenhouse, what varieties would I put in it for farmer's market? That's a good question, because there's a lot of things to consider as far as size, flavor, production. Like, for instance, you take this tree right here, has a delicious fig, but it doesn't have very many figs on it. Just a few here and a few there. And now they are decent size when they ripen, about a fig. This is a Turca. It has about a 50-gram fig on it, but you come over here to White Adriatic, and that's a different ball game, because these are 70 to 100 grams. You can see how big that thing is. And later in the video, we're going to do a tasting, and I'm going to put one on the scale and just show you how big of one I just picked off of here, so you can kind of grasp. It's important that not only do these things fruit good, even though the first 2 years this thing didn't put much fruit on, the third year it really fruited well, and it's put on a lot of poundage, because all the figs are anywhere from 60 up to 100 grams, which is wonderful, and it holds up in transport. You know, you don't have no problem getting a week to 10 days out of it in the fridge. So that's a great part about it. But then, just because it's not always going to be about weight, it has good flavor, but it ain't as good as white Madeira is. Now, my white Madeiras have started getting larger as this tree has gotten older. They're running more up in the 40 gram range to 50 gram range. I'm getting some decent sized ones. I'm trying to see if there's any in here. There's a few getting kind of ready. That's probably about a 35. But you're going to want to grow varieties. This is one I would probably want to have, because it puts on a lot of fruit. It's got, roughly guessing, it's got about 350 pieces of fruit on it, and we'll get almost every one of them off of it before season's over. So, and you want to do a mix. This one here, you're going to sacrifice. If you're going to have bigger figs, the flavors are not going to be as intense. But I'm going to tell you, a lot of people like the bigger figs, from what I'm hearing out on the street. But you also want wow factor figs, and they're going to be smaller. So white Madeira is definitely one you want. LSU Allier, the only thing I'll rule against this, if you're in the deep south where it's really, really humid and it rains every day, just say no, okay? Because it's going to split. If you overwater it, it's going to split. You see, I've got my watering down right now, so right now it's really a good fig, and it has a decent size about it. But you got to water. See my aisleway? When I was having splitting problems 6 weeks ago, I had come in here the week before and watered right down here on the ground, right around the tree, and I was watering the aisleway like this. Now I'm only watering the aisleway, and it makes a difference. I come in here and I'll leave this drip line on for like 6 hours, and then the next day I'll leave it on 6 more hours, and then that pretty much does me for about 10 days. All right, so another one here I would definitely want. It produces a nice 40 to 50 gram fig, more in the closer up to the 50s. This is the Coral Black. Also Bordeaux Oak Grease. And as far as I'm concerned, the best for size, flavor, productivity. I mean, you can see the syrup in that. And when it comes to flavor, it don't get any better than this. And it produces a lot of figs, as you can see up through here. It has a lot of figs. We've been picking figs off of it. But we're going to get them all picked before, you know, in the next 4 weeks, all of these will ripen up. And that typically also goes for Bordeaux oak grease. As far as I'm concerned, they're pretty much the same. Now, this tree over here to the right of me, while I really like the fig for the market, it holds up real well in shipping. This is Black Mantazina. It is really good, but it gets a C to a D on production. I mean, it has figs on it, but not like none of these others. And it has decent size, in the upper 30s. Now, Smith is another one. It comes to flavor and wow factor. This thing just produces so many figs. Like, most of the time, there's almost no way that you buy a pound of figs off me that there ain't at least one Smith in there. That's how many we've been picking off of it. I've been picking, I don't know, 10, 15 figs every day off of it. Yellow Longneck would be another one that I really feel like you just gotta have. It produces pounds and pounds of good sized figs. I mean, you can see the size of this one back here. They're easily in the 70 to 100 gram range. So it doesn't take a whole lot of them to make a pound, which is very important. A lot of people like them. So far, the caldidoms, Nori, Gigantina, and Mutante, they're just not productive enough that I would even consider them. I would also highly recommend Cavalieri and give it a little time, because early on I thought this thing was going to just be too late. And it turns out that over a period of time it starts ripening earlier and has ripened earlier. It started ripening this year in August. Last year it didn't start ripening until the end of September. This year it's mid-August, so it's up pretty much a month early this year. So that's great, because it really just puts on a lot of fruit. You can see it's starting to ripen figs everywhere, and they're all in the 50 gram range pretty much. So that's important when trying to make pounds, and the flavor on it is excellent. Negra d'Agde produces a lot of fruit, but they are still small as a 2-year-old from rejuvenation. As far as flavor go, that you would consider planting them as a flavor filler to put in your mix for sure. They definitely produce a tremendous amount of figs. As you can see, it is starting to ripen. I haven't had any problem with SWD or eye splitting or anything on this one at all. Now, on the other hand, Green Mitskarinska has made me want to pull my hair out this season, because it has been prolific about the eye opening up. Let's see if you can see that eye down there. Starting to get a little crack on it, but I have thrown away more of these than I have got to eat this year, because the SWD has just lived in this tree, it seems like. Now, it doesn't do it to all of them. Here's one right here that doesn't have it, and it's just right, but it's got a good closed eye. When Green Mitskarinska is this small, it's great, but when it goes to swelling and that eye starts opening up like that, you'll be lucky you get to pick it. And I ain't watering around the base, and it was still doing it when I wasn't even watering in the aisle. So that's a real problem. Now, this is another fig I would like for a market, but it does, at this point, at year 3, has not been very productive. It was Constantine de Algérie. I've gotten quite a few figs off. I've got a few figs off of it, not quite a few. You know, maybe a dozen or so. And they're nice sized figs. They're 70, 80, 90 grams. They do good in transport, and they're still, they kind of congeal and get thicker as you put them in the fridge. So they really actually kind of hold up well. The next one I would use would be Brazilian XP. I believe it to be the smaller version of Super Red Hybrid, Super Jumbo, and Red Tram, which I think Red Tram is the biggest of the bunch. But typically this one's pretty ripe. I missed it. But I don't have to worry about SWD. It ripens good. Yep, that one there's no good. You can just usually hold it for a minute. I've seen some animals come out of it. So you can usually just hold them for a minute and look at them and see if they're getting something or if something's in them. Don't take but a minute, they'll come right on out. I just throw them away like that. Once in a while I get one in here, but I've had a lot more problems with the SWD on these bigger ones and them splitting out this year, more so than I have in past years. This Red Tram has been really bad. It's huge and it just ain't been taking the humidity in here at all. And neither has Super Jumbo. I mean, I get one or two here and there that I don't have to throw away, but a lot of them I've probably thrown 65% of them away this year just because they've been getting SWD in them. And I mean, they're nasty before they're really 100% ripe. But you look at this Negra de Agde. This is a good example of something when you have that, this is the type of fig you're looking for. Because see how tight an eye it has? It's not going to have an issue. And I've also noticed something about this fig over here. I think down the road this one may be good. And this one here ain't ripe enough yet. But this is Bass's favorite. And typically when it starts to ripen, it gets a drop of honey in the eye. And that seals it off from anything really. Well, there's a good example of one right there. It ain't got no honey in it, but it's ripe enough. So when the eye opens up, it gets honey in it. Otherwise, the eye stays closed when the fig is small like that. Oh, there's another one I missed. Same way, it's got a decently closed eye. So I think I've got some hope for maybe this one here will make a commercial variety. These are my Call to Doms, these three here. They just really did not produce enough figs. If they would produce, even being late, if they would produce a full set of figs and I could get 50% off of it late, it might be worth having some just to have a crop in late September, early October. Even if I get to eat it, not necessarily even to sell. Now, I was talking about why I like Smith. I mean, you still look at all the figs hanging in here that's still ripening and still got to go, and all of this is done. Look at here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I done took 6 off of that one run right there because this is all new wood from this year. So Smith is a prolific producer for sure. So Firo didn't produce as much as I would have liked it to this year. Doesn't mean I wouldn't select it, but I'd at least give it honorable mention at this time, just because it's a little smaller fig. I'm kind of getting to where I really like Call to Dom Bordeaux Sotinka. it produces a lot of figs, and they're nice 30 to 40 gram size figs. They seem to hold up good. So it might pique your interest to try it as well, because it does fruit well and the size is good. Like I said, you definitely want to have a mix of them in there. So we're going to walk on over to greenhouse number 2 and walk through it real quick before we do our fig tasting. Now, we're in greenhouse 2, and I would probably also consider Black Celeste because of flavor. Even though its size ain't great, it's just a little 20 grammer, or at least at this point it is. Maybe as the tree gets older it'll get bigger. It's not a real big fig, but it will kind of dry on a tree, and it's a wow factor when somebody eats it. So that's real big, because if this just happens to be the one they grab and they eat it and they go, wow, they're gonna be like, hey, you know what, maybe I'm gonna have to have another pound of them. But this is from dieback, and you can see how much fruit it's got on it and how much it's grown this year. So even though all of these might not ripen, you got to realize that once this, I got a tree here that's got a base that's got 3 or 4 years on it that's big around as my arm, and I got 3 or 4 years of old wood here. This thing's really gonna, the hormones in it's gonna really change, and you're gonna be looking at a lot of, even though they're small, it's gonna produce a lot of figs that you can mix in with all these other size figs. Kind of fill the flavor gaps in some of these others that are not as rich or tasty as these are. Black Celeste. Put these on down through here. More Lake than never would definitely be, even though it's only about a 25 gram fig, this, look at the figs on it from dieback. Very important aspect. So once this tree gets more mature, it's going to have even more fruit, larger fruit on it for sure. And I didn't really care for the thing in the pot, but it's really a good fig when it's in ground. And I suspect as it gets more age on it, this will become a lot tastier fig. Looks like here's a, no, not ripe enough. You definitely want them to get soft and ugly. And there's a few more down through here that might be worth talking about. I think Bertolino, even though it's a little 20-25 gram fig, look at it from dieback. I mean, it's 9 foot tall, and it's just loaded with figs. So that's a good indication. Even though it's small, you might give it a place in your inside orchard or your outside orchard for either one of them, because they'll fruit so well from dieback. And these were not protected in here. This greenhouse ends and stuff was left open on it. So they had a little protection, but really not much. Black Zadar probably be the last one we're going to talk about here, because it's a good example of another one that from dieback. And this will have a nice 40 gram-ish fig on it. So that's going to make quite a bit of weight. Plus it has some real good flavor. Be really hard not to consider this one as a commercial variety as well for your farmer's market. And the skin is tough enough. It's kind of more of a flat oval shape. I'm not sure the correct word for it, but it is definitely worthy. And maybe some of these others will be as we get to watch them grow. Black Madeira seems to have a pretty good crop on it, and so does Tina Pina. We'll see how they do in this bottomless 35-gallon pot system that I've come up with to try to get earlier figs on on these later season varieties. I I think it shows some promise. So, all right, so let's go. I got a plate of figs that I've cut up. I want to show you some of the stuff we've picked this week. So let's go check that out. Well, good evening. Fig and Fruit Nursery and Orchard. It's time to cut another plate of figs. This is what we've been ripening. This is what I've been picking this week, and there's quite a few new varieties in here. All right, so let's start off with this big monstrosity of a fig. Look how big it is. It does split a little bit right there. It's been in the fridge since yesterday. That thing weighs 97 grams. That's very important. This is white Adriatic. Yep, I've showed it to you, and I'm showing it to you again with some weight, because it's very important that you see what this looks like. Oh yeah. That's a really good berry fig, sweet, little hint of cinnamon in it. Perfect for a farmer's market, roadside stand. Good heavy fig. All right. All right, this next one, this is the first white Madeira, one of the first ones. And then this one right here is a Blanc de Saison that dried on a tree. So let's kind of look at both of these, kind of get a quick comparison. Now, just for note, this don't weigh very much. 29 grams. So this little dried up one here, 20. Ooh, very nice. Let's try this Blanc de Saison. Looks like got that dried fruit. It's got a dried raspberry flavor to it with some figginess. Oh wow. Nice and almost, it's real smooth. Check this other one out. A lot different experience than that dry one, that's for sure. Still got that real nice Adriatic berry flavor, but this one's a lot richer, a lot more intense berry. If you can let them dry, definitely let them dry. Alright, let's see what else we can find neat to try out. Here's a unique one you ain't never seen before. Let's see what it weighs real quick. 39.5 grams. This is seedling number 2. This is a Raja S2, Raja seedling number 2. So it is ripening here in southern Illinois. It's a nice looking fig. Could have hung another day or two, but we'll definitely. It's got a nice berry flavor, real smooth, creamy texture. Probably some strawberry notes in there. This is going to be a good fig. The skin, I like the skin. It holds up real good. Definitely got some table sugar notes in there too. Really good. It's almost like a larger Celeste, but the skin's different on it. Real good flavor though. Raja seedling number 2. All right. This next one here, Santa Rosa. Nothing there don't look any good. We'll toss it. This one here looks pretty good. Almost like a texture like a banana. There's some banana nodes in it. Some fig nodes, some honey nodes. Skin's kind of chewy. Pulp's kind of pasty. Yep, that is my Santa Rosa. Alright, this next one is Borelli from Nikki. And I'll be honest with you, they're real close. Yeah. Got little stronger honey nodes. Alright, that's Borelli. Alright, let's look at this one here. This is Cavalieri. We've looked at this once before. We're going to weigh it tonight. 40 grams. Nice size fig. Nice size nice, real nice interior. It has a real nice flavor. Yeah, it does. Now, texture's totally different on this one. It's like got a million achenes in there, but you can just feel, you know, like a grape, or I mean like some citrus. Got some big cherry nodes. Sweet, not overly sweet, no table sugar. Nice tasting fig though. Cavalieri. Here's one you haven't seen yet. This is Borgesot Blanca Ramada. Said to be the same as Panache, but I had a lot of problems with Panache splitting here all the time, and I got rid of it. And I got this one in place of it to see if it done any different. Maybe my soil's just better, but it was a real good fig. Real sweet berry flavor. Chewy skin. The skin's good and tough. Probably ought to put this one in the ground since it's already ripening. Because I would think if I could get a crop off of it over the next 4 weeks, plus putting it in the ground make it a little earlier, maybe in the long run, this might just work here. All right. This is a funky one. I just brought it out to show it to you. We're going to cut it open. This is Caldedon Bordesotinka. This looks like 4 figs. Hard not to go on and eat a piece of it, ain't it? Got a real unique jelly berry flavor to it. I can't even describe that one. Bordesotinka. Alright. Now, I'm going to do some comparing here. And I know some of this ain't going to be fair, but this is Black Tuscan that's dried out on a tree. And this is as close to I could get. These 3 here are also off that tree. This is as close to dry as I could get yet. Could have went further if I'd have left it another day. This is Black Madeira KK. So are these. These are Black Madeira KKs. But let's cut this open here and just have a look at these, at the comparisons to one another. Man, there's got jelly in here. Let's cut this one open. It seems to be the most ripest. All right. Pretty close to being the same. Let's go to the Black Madeira first. Oh yeah. Now, there's a lot going on there. Skin's thin and tough. Got some caramel notes with some berry in there. Maybe a little bit of maple syrup flavor. Got some maple syrup in there. Let's try this Black Tuscan. Yeah, see, same thing. I wondered if they was real close. They are. Hard to beat Black Madeira, Black Tuscan types. Starting to ripen out here. Alright, let's see what else we can find. This might not be so spectacular. I'll just warn you up front, but look at that big drop of honey right in the end of that. I mean, like, that really looks promising. I had to get me a drink of my lemonade there. Try to mask away some of that Black Madeira before we cut into this sweet joy. Let's see if it's as sweet and joyful. Oh wow. When it comes to looks, I love it. But let's see what we get out of flavor. And since it wasn't so great last year, I'm just going to go with half because I got a lot of figs to cut open and try. Better. Kind of a brown sugar honey nut. It's almost got like a subtle walnut flavor in it. Definitely got a nutty, nutty honey flavor. Very unique. I wouldn't throw it away just yet. We'll keep seeing if it gets better. All right, moving along. We've seen this one before, but look how dried it is. Get a drink here. Pour some of that flavor down. This is another LSU purple. And look what it becomes now. That thing is just loaded. Oh my. A lot of flavor in the skin. Honey. Got a real neat, unique flavor to it. It's a honey flavor, but all right. Looking for another one. Here is 3 of these. I don't think that one's ripe enough. We'll put it back. They're a little small. This is my Tina Pina. My tree's still kind of young. Oh, wow. What a rock star that is. Holy moly. Wow. Oh, wow. It's got a real neat, dried fig berry flavor. So that's kind of what it does when it dries on the tree, huh? Let's see what this one looks like. Oh yeah, you can see this one here is a lot redder. This one here had started drying. Got some molasses and caramel nodes with a little bit of berry. Now that's got more berry in it. Wow. Can't wait till that gets bigger. Pina pina. This might be another Galician Negro. It is. I don't remember this time, but that thing right there is phenomenal. Got some caramel brown sugar in it, rich berry, nice and pasty, kind of like a call to dawn. Dried on my tree. Can't hardly beat that. Oh, moving along to see what else we might have that I can show you. This is the Walshy Lechy from Sacred Origins. I think I maybe have cut one of these open already, but we're going to look at this again. It's getting a little bigger. Yeah, not much flavor, mildly sweet. After having all those others, you just throw that one away, I'll be honest with you. Not anything special that you're looking for. This is a Sakura Black that has dried on the tree. Ooh, ain't that beautiful. See what it tastes like. Thick and jammy. Not super sweet, but rich. Nice rich berry. Can't beat that at all now. Alright, what else in here? I think that's about all I can remember tonight. Here's a really starting to dry on the tree. Well, not starting to. It did dry on the tree. Bertolino. It's a little dude. But let's look at it. That's delish. Got a nice citrusy berry flavor to it. It's almost like orange fig. That's wild. That was really good. All right, better get me a drink here and look around, see what else we got. This is Bronzola Rosa. Another honey fig. Nice and creamy. Kind of mild honey. Maybe some sugar nodes. Probably getting downplayed because I've had so many really good berry figs tonight. This is Violet Dauphine. I can't overly remember what it tasted like, but we're going to find out. It's a little bit sweet and figgy. It's okay. I probably need to try this another night though, because it's in some tough competition tonight. Well, I think that's about it tonight. These were kind of the ones that I picked, maybe needed to look at. I believe that's a Bergen Unknown. Like it ripened just like it should have. Got a unique, sweet, subtle berry flavor. Might even be a hint of apple in there, with some maybe a little bit of caramel. It's interesting. Yeah, and some figginess too. Real interesting. Bergen Unknown. Well, I think we're gonna call that good for tonight. And that's gonna be this week's Fig Variety Review. Thanks for watching.